in the last hour, and that is the Pentagon confirming there has been an explosion outside Kabul Airport, where thousands of people have gathered to try to evacuate the country. Initial reports suggest it was caused by a suicide bomber and that there are casualties.
All right, welcome back to the channel. Hearing these explosions happening at airports got me thinking, what if these kind of bombs happened at our airports here in the US? How would our airport firemen and services around here respond? So I wanted to kind of go over that and think it through. So if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. All right, so there was two bombs that went off today. One was at Abbey Gate and one was at the Baron Hotel. So I believe this is the Baron Hotel here. And then Abbey Gate is somewhere in this area. So, two explosions, multiple casualties. And, what if that happened at our airports? I know in Brussels in 2016, I believe, they had a bomb in their terminal that went off. So we can look into that. But there's the Abbey Gate there. And then the hotel is right below that. So this was in Brussels. You can see the chaos.
A drop, or was it a terrorist?
A lot of injuries, a lot of unknowns, a lot of chaos. So how do we, as firemen, bring calm to this kind of situations? Here's another one in Turkey. So basically, first thing we would do is you would let your specialists lead off. So we're firemen. If it's a fire aircraft, we're the specialists. We're going to take control. If it's a bomb, we're going to go ahead, let the bomb squad come and take care of it, do their job to make sure it's safe. If it's a gunman who has, live ammunition and guns, firemen, we don't have bulletproof vests, so we wouldn't go in first. You would let the police take care of that. So you let the specialists come in first and take care of what they're good at. And once the scene is safe, the bomb squad says that, okay, it's safe enough to come in. Then the firefighters would come in and we would start seeing if there's any fires. We would start putting those fires out. And if there's patients, then we would start taking care of those patients. But because of this type of incidents, let's go back. So prior to that, basically these type of bombs and stuff happen around 8 o'clock. If you think of like 9/11, it was all early morning. They try to hit when it's peak traffic. So that's one thing to consider. These people that are planning this, they try to do things to make the most damage. So moving on, we would have to do this ICS system, incident command system, and it is very deep of a system. But basically, to go over it, you have one person that's in charge, and you have a safety officer that's basically making sure that all the personnel, the firemen, policemen, everybody on scene, making sure that they're okay, because they're making sure that the public's okay. So we need a safety officer to ensure that the people that get hurt, say a firefighter goes down, we have safety procedures to get them taken care of as well. You have information officers, liaison officers, people talking to media. You want to have the incident commander be in control of the scene and not being bombarded by all these newscasters. So you have different people taking care of different sections to try to make small bite pieces of the scene. So operations would be all the firefighters, policemen, everybody doing the groundwork, all the tactic work. So the planning's gonna make the plan, and they're gonna keep documentation of what's going on. We'll have meetings every so often to see if the plan that they come up with is doing good or if we need to make changes in the plans. And then the operations will have either divisions. They can break it up like maybe a map. If it's a map of the airport, you can make half that map. Maybe the north side is one part and the south side of the airport is another part. You just break it up to bite-sized pieces so that you can attack the problem in a coordinated manner. So you have logistics. They're basically buying stuff. What do we need? Equipment. Do we need bulldozers? Do we need any type of agencies that we need? They're going to be calling them and making sure everybody is where they need to be. And we know where everybody is. We have a count. It's not just people showing up and there's all chaos as far as the responders goes. And then the finance team is just making sure that we have the money. Maybe you can, depending how big the incident is, you can get funding. And then also, you need meals for all these people, waters, drinks, just anything you can think of for the responders, for the people helping. This is kind of what this is about in a nutshell. So this was in Brussels. So if there's a bomb in the airport, you got to think the people that are on the aircraft, you don't want them to go into the terminal to go out into danger. So all the people in the airplanes, you would take them out of the aircraft because the airport is shut down. And then they had them all here to make sure that you could get a head count, and you kind of want to start counting people to see what we have in our hands, how many total, who's coming and who's going. Especially if you have terrorism, you don't want terrorists being able to come in and come and go as they please. You want to isolate the situation, evacuate the terminal, get everybody out so that the police and fire can do their jobs. And then also the medics can come in and we can start transporting these patients that are injured. So we're going to start triaging them. You're going to figure out who needs to go first, whose life is most at danger. And then you're going to send those first to the hospital. And then after that, the less and less injured will go. And then you'll get a count. Airlines will be doing their job of getting a count of who's there and basically try to slowly get this thing back down and under control. So that's basically it. Just try to think of letting the specialists do what they need to do. Make sure it's safe as firemen before we go in. You don't want to go in when there's still shooters, things like that. And then basically find out who needs help. Make sure they get medical treatment. Get them to the hospitals. Take care of the families. Let everybody know what's going on as far as media-wise. And then try to get the airport back and running as soon as possible. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe. See you guys next time.